Have you ever wondered about the cost of uncontrolled desires? Welcome to the exploration of the first book of Kings, chapter 11, where we dive into the life of the wisest man who ever lived, King Solomon, and witness the consequences of unchecked passion. In the grand tapestry of history, we find King Solomon, a figure renowned for his wisdom, wealth, and power. Yet his story is not just one of success, but also a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked desires. In the early years of his reign, Solomon, blessed with wisdom from God, ruled Israel with justice and fairness. His fame spread far and wide, and people from all corners of the earth came to witness his wisdom. However, Solomon had one particular weakness: his fondness for foreign women. Over time, Solomon married 700 princesses and had 300 concubines. Many of these women were from nations with which God had told the Israelites not to intermarry, as they would turn Solomon's heart after their gods. But Solomon, driven by his desires, ignored this command. As Solomon grew older, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. Solomon followed Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, the detestable god of the Ammonites. Solomon did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and unlike his father David, he did not follow the Lord completely. In response to Solomon's disobedience, God told Solomon that he would tear the kingdom from him and give it to one of his subordinates, but not during Solomon's lifetime, for the sake of David. However, God would take the kingdom away from Solomon's son, and though he would allow him to keep one tribe, the rest would go to Solomon's servant. And so it happened. The Lord raised up against Solomon an adversary, Hadad the Edomite, who was a royal descendant in Edom. God also raised up against Solomon another adversary, Rezon son of Eliada, who ruled in Aram and was hostile towards Israel all the days of Solomon. In addition to these external threats, one of Solomon's officials, Jeroboam, also rebelled against the king. Ahijah, a prophet of Shiloh, met with Jeroboam and tore a new cloak into 12 pieces. He gave 10 pieces to Jeroboam, symbolizing that God would give him 10 of the tribes of Israel. Only one tribe would be left for Solomon's son because of God's promise to David. Despite these adversities, Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel for 40 years. When he died, he was buried in the city of David his father, and his son Rehoboam succeeded him as king. In summarizing this chapter, we discover the profound consequences of Solomon's unchecked desires. His wisdom, wealth, and power did not exempt him from the repercussions of his disobedience to God's commands. His fondness for foreign women led him to idolatry, causing God to decide to tear the kingdom away from his lineage. However, God's promise to David meant that this punishment would not occur in Solomon's lifetime, but during his son's reign. In this tale, we are reminded that no one, not even the wisest of kings, is immune to the consequences of their actions. It also underscores the importance of obedience to divine guidance and the perils of allowing our desires to rule over us. As we close this chapter, let's reflect on our own lives. Are we like Solomon, allowing unchecked desires to lead us astray, or are we adhering to the wisdom and guidance that have been laid before us?